Here's 8 important questions you should ask your woman before getting into a serious relationship. Number 1, what are your long lifetime goals? The answer to this question can allow you to determine whether you can see or build a future with her. For example, if you have a girl that wants to choose a career path which is not sort of your wifey material sort of thing, or she wants to go in a career where you know you're not going to be able to have a family with her, then it allows you to cut ways and it saves you a lot of time and it saves her a lot of time. So yeah, number 1, what are your long lifetime goals? How do you handle conflicts and disagreements? Communication is vital in any relationship. And it's good to understand how someone reacts because it allows you to prepare, it allows you to expect to what is going to happen. And if they react in a way that doesn't suit your needs, it can let you know whether you have a long-term plan with this woman. Because if she handles disagreements in rage, getting back even, then whoa, you know you need to run the opposite direction from this woman, because you would want someone who knows how to talk, who knows how to lay out the pros and cons, and who also wants to grow as a person and who is open. For me, for example, all my past relationships, they've all been good communicators of what their needs are. And if I know within myself, if I can fulfill those needs, in which I could. I've been in 3 relationships my whole entire life. My 3rd relationship, I got married, and I can't fault my previous 2 relationships. They were amazing. All 3 of them are amazing. And I picked the one I picked for a load of reasons. So yeah, I think that is very important of how someone handles conflict is very, very important. Come on, I know I've seen a lot of times where a man and a woman disagreed and all hell broke loose. Me personally, I don't like drama. I don't like conflict, especially if someone can't handle their emotions and there's a argument on the road and they want to display or broadcast our situation to the public. That's something I will never, ever, ever in a million years tolerate. And I've seen it happen with my friends and I've seen it happen with strangers. So I do think that is very important. Number 3, what are your views on family and children? And that kind of falls in line with question 1 as well. But it is very crucial just to make sure that you're on the same page. Because if you want a family and the other person don't, and vice versa, there is going to be issues along the line. Believe me, this is not one of those things where you can talk it through and one person has to compromise. It is very important, if they're not on the same page, to save yourself time, effort, and energy. My advice would be to go your separate ways, unless you're open-minded, but this is very important. It is always good to make sure whether if you want children in the future and the other person wants children in the future, because that is why my first relationship didn't work out. I wanted children eventually, but she was quite older than me and she knew that she didn't want children. And we just had to go our separate ways. No love lost. It's just that you know what you want, you appreciate yourself, you love yourself enough to respect yourself and to not compromise if something is very important to you. So that is a very important question to ask. What role does career play in your life? And this question allows you to plan out her ambition and where she sees herself. Because it's okay if a woman puts her career first, because that's where her ambition lies, that's where her goal lies, that's where her dream lies. If she wants to become a lawyer first and you're in the beginning of a relationship, you know you're going to have to sacrifice many years, because there are certain career paths where you have to be dedicated. For example, my previous partner was striving to be a doctor, and I understood that this sort of industry, you're going to be away from your partner a lot of the times. You're going to have conflicting schedules. So this is very vital. If you're someone who needs time and space with your partner, you're going to have to know what her ambition is, because it will definitely prepare you for a lot of things in the future. And especially it prepares you emotionally and physically and mentally and spiritually, because I actually know males out there who have a partner, but the partner takes their career more seriously than them. But if that's something they discuss earlier on, I'm assuming that he would have known what to expect. So yeah, that's a very important question. Oh, this is a touchy question. Number 5. What are your views on money, financial habits, and spending? This is very important, because I've seen people in relationships and the man wants to build a home, wants to build a family, wants to buy properties, wants to invest. But on the other hand, the woman he's going out with just wants to spend. She wants to go to fancy restaurants. She wants to buy fancy things. She wants to go on fancy holidays, in which she cannot afford, but he can. But his money is apparently her money. Okay. And because he loves her, but it's just like, dude, you need to love yourself first, because you want to be here. But with that mentality of going to fancy restaurants, nice holidays, nice clothes, when you know you can't afford it, she's down there. She's on a lower level to you. You want someone who can build with you. Like all the successful, happy people that I speak with and I deal with, the woman has a good sense on finances. Doesn't have to be expert levels, just a basic, just the basics between investing and spending and what's necessary. And I've seen a lot of people who've had those discussions, and women with sensible spending habits, they're way more happier. And why would you want to be with a materialistic person anyway? What are your non-negotiables and deal breakers in a relationship? Yeah, get this question out the way as soon as you can, because it just removes any future conflicts. And you set your boundaries in which you don't want her to cross. And if you set your boundaries from early in the relationship, you avoid many future conflicts. What role does spirituality or religion play in your life? For me, that question is important. Probably number 1 for me, actually, because it just sets the precedent of their foundation. It allows you to really know this person, of where they come from, what sort of home they come from. Me, I come from a very religious home. And when I was younger, I went to a Catholic school. I was just instilled with the 10 commandments. That's why I've never stole. I just never stole, 'cause I just knew it was wrong. Taking someone's hard, what they've earned, and taking it away because you have less. No, these are just basic morals and disciplines that everyone should have growing up. And I've learned a lot of morals, a lot of life lessons just by reading the Bible. So it does set a foundation of who you are as a person. Um, I mean, I know a couple and the lady isn't religious at all. Just for her, sinning is a joke. And where that's alarming for me, and that's something that I will never get into, would never date anyone who's not religious or spiritual or just not consciously aware of their actions and that there are consequences, because this person, they just believe there are no consequences for their actions. And if you believe that there are no consequences for your actions, you can just do whatever excuse my language, you want. And do you want to settle down with a person like that? I mean, if you do, then you probably need counseling and you need some help, but you don't want someone like that to be the mother of your child, the nurturer of your home. Ugh, no, that's just, no. But yeah, that's a very important question, and that should definitely be number one. That's my number one anyway, because if that question isn't answered correctly, then there's no point of actually us continuing, you know, personally. Last and most certainly not least, how do you define personal growth? And what are some things that you're currently working on right now? This question, it allows you to delve into their mindset, and from that you get to know, is this someone who appreciates self-improvement? Because in the long run, you don't want someone who's not interested in self-improvement, because how you are today from how you are last year, they should be two completely different people, because that's a whole 365 days of growth, development, learning, actions. So if someone has no interest in developing, are they someone that you want with in the long run? That's 8 questions that you should ask a woman before getting into a serious relationship. And how they answer, it allows you to know what you're getting into. And choose wisely, because these divorce rates are through the roof and very unnecessary. I hope you enjoyed. I'll post the questions down below. Thank you for watching. Peace and love.